Do you want to do the introduction or you want me to?
We already started the episode. I'm not cutting this.
What? Okay.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the main show, the main event.
Yeah.
It's I'll Make a Stay Out of You. I have to do a much better job of remembering. I mean, obviously we both need to do a better job of remembering the name of the show, but remembering to say it, because as frequent listeners will realize, I put out a trailer this week of our for just random clips from our show, just to kind of give people an idea of what it's like.
Right.
We talk about so much random shit that is not Stray Kids related on a Stray Kids podcast.
Right.
And I just 100% forgot to mention the name of the podcast. So I'm going to have to go and re-edit that. And just I got to figure out a blurb or something to be like, oh, subscribe wherever you can buy and sell podcasts or something. I
feel like also if you go back and listen to any episode other than episode 1 of the podcast, we never say the name of the... We always say, welcome back to the podcast, not...
Oh, no.
Welcome back to I'll Make a Stay Out of You, the podcast.
Well, we're just not very scripty people.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
I don't, I just don't like scripts in general. Give me like a workflow of some sort and I will ignore it entirely,
Oh, yeah.
You ever bought something from IKEA and immediately thrown out the instructions and said, I can figure this out?
Classic. Actually, technically, I don't know that I've ever had that happen. Generally, what I do is I look at the instructions and I go, well, what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Yeah. Sometimes the instructions are like, what? But should we, for obviously, we did this with ourselves before we even hit record on the listen along. Should we do some high pitched gating tests?
I don't even remember what I don't remember what it was that I was saying.
A little higher, I think, or I don't remember either. Man,
I don't remember.
It was literally an hour ago.
I know.
Oh well. All right.
It's called short-term memory loss, and we have it.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. It's because we're old. We're just getting up to that age where we can only remember certain things. Actually, Anna would say, because she likes to make fun of me a lot for I guess every now and then I'll be like, I have a great memory. I have an amazing memory. And I think for the most part, I do have a pretty decent memory when it comes to things that are relatively important.
Oh, yeah.
But then I'll just forget things all the time, and she loves reminding me. She's like, how could you forget this? Don't you have an amazing memory?
Yeah. I get that. I mean, I'm the same way, right? Because I feel like I remember some things. There are a lot of things that I don't remember that I'm just like, oh, I went to college and stopped thinking about all the things that happened to me at college, and now I just don't remember so many things from my time in college.
Yeah.
I just don't remember shit from back then.
Right.
Well, shit. The other day, okay, we were watching American Ninja Warrior, right? And one of the hosts was like, the person who was running the course was a music teacher in elementary school. And he was like, shout out to my elementary school music teacher, Mrs. So-and-so. And I was like, how the fuck could you possibly remember that? Impossible.
No, because you remember the influential things, right? The things, some things really stick with you. I know that my second grade teacher was Mr. Smith. And I don't know.
That's reasonable.
I don't know why.
It's reasonable, I feel like, it's reasonable to remember the name of your actual teacher, your main teacher.
Okay, but
this is just the offshoot music teacher. Did he develop a lifelong passion for the fucking recorder?
Well, he obviously went on to become a music teacher himself, so obviously that person played a role in his life to lead him into that path.
No.
But here's another thing I can tell you, okay, about Mr. Smith, my second grade teacher.
Yeah, okay.
He can do backflips. Just standing still. Wow. Why do I know that? Because he did a backflip in front of me once.
So you don't actually know that he can do backflips. You know that he can do backflip.
Sure, yeah, I guess. Yeah. But my point is, like, why is that an important memory in my head? Like, why do I remember
Right.
the one time that my second grade teacher did a backflip? You know?
That's a good
he also
point.
drove, I don't know why I know this, he drove a little truck.
Yeah, that's weird.
Right.
Quit it. Stop.
Yeah.
Memories are weird.
Yeah, why did
You invented those memories? I don't know.
No, I know that because I used to ride my bike to school, and so I remember riding my bike back home and seeing him drive past me in his little truck, and I guess the reason that it stuck with me is because it was just so unusual to me, the size of this truck, because it was tiny, but it was a truck. You know, it was like
The size that counts.
right. It was a Ranger, like Ranger
like a
kind of
Ford Ranger.
build, but like small. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, I don't know. Now I couldn't tell you my first grade teacher's name. I don't remember that. But I remember that when we moved to Arkansas in between first and second grade, that we arrived at the house that we were moving into at night. And I know that because I was being loud and my parents told me to be quiet because people would be sleeping.
They were like, "Shut the fuck up, Tom."
Yeah. Well, they call me Thomas, you know, because that's my
Thomas.
actual name.
That's funny. I'm surprised that they would call you Thomas even as a child, because
Yeah.
it's like, that's a mouthful. Like, sorry, you have more than one syllable in your name? Fuck that.
Mm-hmm. Why do I remember that?
I say that as somebody who named their son a name that has two syllables.
Logan.
And no nickname. And I'm like, okay, well, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad that you have memories. It's important to have some memories. I remember my fourth grade teacher was Mrs. Johnson because she traumatized me by humiliating me in front of the class. So that was good.
Don't you love that about some teachers? Yeah,
Yeah,
my
it's so
fifth grade
great.
teacher did that to me too. Yeah. I don't remember my fourth grade teacher's name. I remember my fifth grade teacher was Miss Henry. Probably because she had enormous boobs. She was not an attractive woman, but she did have some huge boobs. And she made fun of me for saying things. Like some questions that I asked, and I'm like, "What? So you want me to not be an inquisitive individual? Got it? Okay,
Mhm.
just fall in line."
All right, well, Miss Johnson, my fourth grade math teacher, fuck you. I hope you're dead. All right, let's roll that intro.
Wakey, wakey.
What a good intro. Jesus Christ. So we watched an episode
We did.
of Stray Kids. It's been a while since we recorded. Tom had a wisdom tooth removed,
Yeah.
and we didn't know how his voice would handle that / the drugs he was going to be on, because he was on a lot of drugs. Woo!
Oh yeah. Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs.
Unless they're prescribed to you. Yeah.
But so we recorded some episodes ahead of time because of that, and now we've gone like 2 weeks without recording,
Yeah.
and we just like, it's been a long time, so
We missed a week. Sorry, if you were really looking forward to that episode, which is the episode that you are currently listening to, would have been.
that's right.
What really ended up happening was not that any of those events occurred, but that I was probably asleep when when you were like, "Hey, let's record," and I'm like, "Hey, I'm asleep."
Yeah.
And then just it kept happening that way, where day after day I would go to bed.
It's weird how that works sometimes. That sometimes you sleep.
Yeah, you need to sleep. Yeah, no, yeah, but yeah, things have been pretty interesting lately. You know, getting some things done, doing stuff, um,
And things.
and things. Yeah, and here we are back
Ooh.
again, watching the survival show for Stray Kids.
That's right. We watched episode 7 today.
Yes,
Finally, the conclusion of the battle with YG Entertainment.
right.
Woo!
It was good.
So yeah, it was great. I love this episode, and one of the things I love about it is that we haven't got to hear the full thing, but I will tell you, there are 2 songs from the survival show that are like some of my favorite songs. I love them. And we haven't heard the full version of either of them, but one of them is "Ya Ya Ya," which is was talked about at the end of this episode.
Yeah,
and we'll get to hear it in the next episode. And they kept playing the audio for it, and it goes hard. I really love that song.
It does go hard. Well, I hope it does. And okay, I want to talk about this because the whole point of this thing was that it was a battle, and I thought that there was going to be like a conclusive winner, and it seemed like they just kind of skimmed right over that. Like, did I miss that? Was I not paying attention in that moment, or did they just not say that?
The idea behind these battles is for them to put the content out, for themselves to be critical or praise the other groups, and then to just let the social media sphere take who won, who lost.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
they don't decide it. Oh, and there was another thing from this episode that we kind of had skimmed over because we'll talk about it when we get there. Yeah, we'll get back to it. Let's start from the beginning. So at the very beginning of this episode, Stray Kids vocal team it decides to presents that they're going to perform Blackpink's "As If It's Your Last," which is a disco song, but they're gonna make it darker. I thought the CEO of YG, I thought it was really funny, like his like responses, just like his like casual like active listening responses, where he's like, yeah, like sounded like very like, I don't know, it just made me laugh for some reason. But
yeah,
what did you think of the vocal performance?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, right?
Yeah.
I thought I remember as I was watching it, I was thinking, man, it's interesting to see Woojin in this group because every other time I've heard Woojin sing, I didn't think he was that good.
Yeah.
But he did really well, right? In this one. So I was glad to see that. And it kind of caught me off guard. But in a good way.
Yeah, I mean he's the main vocal for the group, right? So it would make sense that he should be good at vocalizing. I don't know, like it is weird, right? That like in past, and I think it's just because like some of the times when he's been like featured, they weren't intending to have him be the standout person, right? Like when they did the 333 challenge, they were trying to show Jongin being like really good, and so he wasn't like he wasn't supposed to just like go out there ad lib and just like bust it and make Jongin look worse, you know?
Yeah.
So, but in this one, it's all about like showing just the best you can do.
Right.
So yeah, I agree. I think he did great. I think that it was really awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Jisung rapped and then sang also. He is such an all-around performer. It's really crazy. He did such a good job. And I think that Chan, it was really hilarious. Like they were like warming up for the performance, and he's like, you know, mashing on the keyboard and playing his little drum and bass stuff.
Yeah.
And really cool. And it was cool that he was able to play and start the track and then sing afterwards. But his performance overall in this one is good. But I think that much like in a lot of the show, like it seems like he's spread thin. You know, he's trying to do a lot. He put a lot of this stuff together, and he just didn't. It made sense to me when they got comments and Jisung and Woojin both got like praise, and they just didn't say anything about Chan because it's like you did fine. Like
Yeah.
you know, the other guys like really like put it all out there, and Chan did what he was supposed to do, and that's fine. That's totally adequate for the situation, really.
Yeah.
Considering the fact that he arranged every one of the songs, and then was in every group up to a point, like, yeah, okay, I'll let it slide. I think he did fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And still, his like tone and everything was good. It just didn't feel like, I don't know, the like confidence part of it that was like an issue from him early on. I felt like was kind of missing, where he's like not he wasn't like stealing the stage. But to be fair, it could just be that's the way that it was edited and the way that they're seeing it, because nobody commented, nobody was negative about his performance. So I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
The other team seemed to be pretty impressed. The people from YG were really enjoying the show, and yeah, they said that JYP told them that Jisung and Woojin were really stable and comfortable for the whole performance, which was like, who else was there? So then the vocal team from YG went. What did you think of them?
Yeah, they were good. I are they a group yet? Or like, do you know what happened to them?
So I looked it up, and I'm gonna have to look it up again. But Bang Yedam, the one that was praised in the last episode, he has debuted. He is debuted in a group, and I tried to look them up to see like how well they've done or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's not good. I mean, I'm sure. That they're
Oh no!
I'm sure
It's not good.
To be fair, I'm like judging them by different standards, right? Because like the whole thing with JYP is that they're trying to produce groups that are popular worldwide and not always just like ones that are popular in Korea, which is fine. That's a perfectly normal thing to do. But I think the add-on effect is that if you are an international K-pop stan or K-pop fan, then you may find that there are groups that like don't seem to perform like crazy numbers, but maybe they probably do okay within Korea, and that may be the case. Although, you know, one of the things that I had talked about with Jeanette was that like that a lot of from like third gen forward in Korea, like boy groups just generally don't perform as well, which is interesting. I mean, like I'm sure they still do okay, but like girl groups, that just like if a girl group drops a new single, it just blows away whatever boy group was climbing charts in Korea.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's interesting. That may come up for us in the future. Let's see. So I thought it was pretty good too. Oh yeah. So they got their criticism, and my favorite part of this is that JYP was praising one of the people's singing, and then goes, "Oh, you trained at JYP, right?" And the guy's like, "Yeah," and then he's like, "Okay, maybe that's why." I'm like, "Oh my god." And then like Changbin and Hyunjin, I think it was a couple of them, were just like laughing, like they all like laugh about the fact that like maybe that's why. What? Such a JYP power move.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they do. I've heard him talking about it a lot, like singing nasally, and I'm like, how could I? That doesn't seem physically possible, and or maybe I'm just not understanding because I'm not a singer. But I'm subscribed to the great courses on Amazon Prime because I love documentaries, and they're basically like college course lectures, and I can fall asleep to them. They're great. Only $7.99. I highly recommend it. I'm advertising for them. They are not paying us. I wish they would pay me. in subscription to their service, but
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Mm.
Anyway, they have a course on there that's like how to sing, and like maybe I should just watch it because like I don't know, like I feel like I would understand a lot of what we hear more if I did that, and then my karaoke skills would improve. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why not? Always got to improve your karaoke skills.
Yeah, you got to get those skills up.
Yeah.
That's how you impress the ladies.
No, I don't have to do that. I'm married.
That's
so,
true, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you should still probably try to impress your wife, right? From time to time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, as an example, great example. This morning, Jeanette slept in. I
Yeah.
let her. She slept in, stayed in bed until probably like 9 a.m., which doesn't sound like sleeping into some people, but for us, it's great.
Yeah,
That's like 2 hours extra sleep.
right.
And I got the kids dressed, and we went to Einstein's and picked up bagels, and I got her a Novalox, which is like her favorite. And so we came home, had everything set up for her, and then woke her up at 9, and boom, she had a delicious breakfast, and I didn't cook it, but I bought it, and that counts.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, for sure.
It does. Absolutely. I mean, look, I'm not gonna smoke salmon, okay? That's not gonna ever happen. I'm not gonna buy a smoker and smoke salmon. Sorry. It's never
Yeah.
gonna happen. But I can buy it, and it's delicious to her. I mean, I like smoked salmon, all right, but like I don't know, Novalox. I don't like what are they, capers? Yeah, I don't like capers. Not a fan.
Tell me about this Novalot. Like, what is it?
It's like-
it's smoked salmon, but how does it go beyond
Smoked
like
salmon.
bagels and lox? You know?
That's what it is. It's just like Nova salmon,
Oh,
right?
just Nova salmon. What about cream cheese?
It doesn't go.
Huh?
Nova. It doesn't go. You never heard about like the Chevy Nova and not performing well in Mexico? Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Okay, so Nova in Spanish means does not go.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
I got you.
people would say that the Chevy Nova didn't perform well in Mexico because the name of it makes it sound like it doesn't work.
Yeah, right. I got it. I'm picking it up. This thing that you're putting down. Man, we really like to stay on topic.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? Yeah. Anyway.
So does it have cream cheese or not? Like, you never answered my
Yes,
question.
It does. It has cream cheese. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a bagel and lox. I mean, that's what it is. It's I literally think it's just what Einstein Brothers calls it.
Right.
That's
Okay.
all.
What about these
So-
capers that you're talking about? What is that? I don't know what
You know
you're
what
talking-
capers are, right? There's little like peppery
little
balls.
Yeah, little peppery balls. So they put that on
Yeah.
there too.
Yeah. Kind of. I mean, they just roll off. I really don't understand it. If I'm honest, I don't understand it. I don't
just-
get the whole thing. But I also got it on an Asiago bagel because I'm romantic.
Is that what that means?
That's what that means. All right. Okay, so anyway,
Yeah.
the third stage is the dance stage.
Yeah. Totally.
Stray Kids is going first.
I gotta say, Stray Kids' performance way better than the YG's. Not that
Oh,
YG's
yeah.
was bad, but like Stray Kids just really fucking nailed it.
No, you didn't like their military style.
Oh my god, what was up with that? Like, okay, if you're only listening to this podcast, good for this episode. I'll just say that. But if you're also watching the show, like, were you not also sitting there going, why every single time they refer to the YG dance, they call it a military style or military dance? And I'm like, what is military about this dance? Nothing about it stands out to me as overtly military.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I think that's going to end up in Tom's question corner, but I will literally only have like 24 hours to figure it out.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Not
We'll
even.
figure it out.
Not even, because we're going to do the next one.
Not even. Yeah, it's going to be in the
like
afternoon.
12
right?
hours. So,
Oh my God. I got to sleep.
yeah.
You know what? I get to sleep in tomorrow, so I'll be rested. It'll be good.
All right, let's just power through the rest of this episode really quick, and then we can just bullshit until we feel like we can just end the episode. All right. So, Stray Kids dance, awesome. YG's dance, good. They shake hands, go their separate ways. Boom. Where are we at?
Essay.
Huh?
Essay time.
Oh, right. Yeah, so they're having lunch with or
Brunch.
was it breakfast?
Oh yeah, I guess I forgot that they totally have this whole like brunch scene where they're eating the like a bunch of calories.
Yeah.
JYP, I love it. I love his statement about it because he was like, "It's okay to eat like this once a month." And I'm like, yeah, it is.
But let me tell you something. I looked at the spread that they had on the table, and maybe this is just because I eat big. There was not a lot of food there.
Yeah. I mean, it was like sweets and like thick waffles, thick ass Belgian waffles. But yeah, no, I know. You're right. It was not a quantity of food that would be normal to, let's say, an American brunch.
Yeah.
We can't, say the same for our Canadian, Australian, or German listeners, or one listener in the UK. And look, all of you, we love you, but I don't know what your brunch is like.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I mean, I've seen like a fry up from England, but I don't know that that's brunch. I think that's just breakfast. So,
Hey,
I don't know.
What was the thing that you said you'll explain to me later?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So, oh man, yeah, this is really important, and we already like skimmed right past it. When the head of YG was asking them questions and got to Felix, and of course Felix is not fluent in Korean yet, and he's like talking to him, and is asking him questions, like repeatedly asking him questions. He asks him how old he is.
Yeah.
And Felix
says...
says...
right. Yes. Felix says...
In Australia, I'm 17.
And I'm like, in Australia, he's 17, implying that in other places he's not 17?
In Korea, your age counts up, like ticks over to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the new year. Everybody's birthday is the same. So you don't actually gain a year in age until January 1st has happened.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's possible to be born like in December and be like 1, and you'll be like, like it's just weird. Like the age is weird. Like, so yeah.
Well, I would say it would be it'd be worse to be born in like, say, January, and then like what's the legal drinking age? Is it like, let's say it's 21, right? And so you're born January 2nd, and so on your 21st birthday, you now have to wait 363 more days before you can actually start drinking.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. But if you were a pop star, you wouldn't drink anywhere.
Right, true,
anyway.
yeah. And if you did, no one would know.
Twice just released a new single called Alcohol Free.
Nice.
And it's...
Wait, they released a song or a album?
Yes. Yeah,
a song?
No, a song.
Was it on the album called Straight
Free.
Edge?
No.
Why?
No, well, I don't know. When I first heard it, I was like, this song is not good. This is not a good song. It's so weird.
No.
Like when you look at the lyrics, it's like, oh, I don't drink, but when I'm with you, I feel so drunk all the time, and it's great. I like this feeling, and it's super weird. I felt like that was super weird. And then, like, at one point, they start just naming alcoholic drinks, like mojito and lime, margarita. They just like list off a bunch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, And when I first heard it, I was just like, maybe we'll listen to it. Maybe we'll watch that because that's not spoilers for this show. But like, it was so weird. It was I was like, I don't know, I don't like this song. And then I suddenly found myself going, mojito and lime, and I was like, damn it, they got me again. Damn it, JYP.
Gotcha.
It's got a JYP whisper at the beginning, so he actually wrote the song.
JYP.
And I was like, oh man, JYP, yeah, JYP. He did not. I thought for once maybe he just didn't do a good job, and then I waited, and time passed, and I was like, I'm just gonna listen to that alcohol free one more time. So ridiculous. Yeah, we'll listen to it. You got to listen to that. It's gonna be great.
Okay. Now I want to make I want us to have a band, and like we'll release an album called Straight Edge, and then like we'll just have songs about like various drugs and substances that you know. I want to make a Dare album is what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. As someone who drank a beer earlier today, I think I'm a qualified individual for this task.
Oh, yeah, definitely. What's interesting, of course, is that, you really can't be straight edge so much in the U.S. Because straight edge was classified as gang.
What?
So, yeah, this happened a while ago.
What?
Was it in Utah or Nevada? I don't remember. Anyway, there was like a big straight edge scene in like, I want to say the late 90s, early 2000s maybe. And, they would get in fights with like skinheads and stuff all the time, like SLC Punk style. Like it would literally happen. And I mean, to be fair, there is like an offshoot of straight edge that became like Nazis themselves.
Oh, like Mormons.
Yeah.
Not that I'm not saying Mormons are Nazis. No. I'm saying that when people talk about Mormons, you have to consider that there are two different groups of Mormons in the United States.
Right.
And they mean very different things.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, yeah, it's definitely weird. There was a really good documentary I watched about it, which I thought was really good, but when it's a documentary that's about straight edge, like it's a documentary. All documentaries start with a viewpoint, right? So
yeah.
So they're trying to tell you something. They're trying to tell a story, and they did tell a story, which is interesting. But like, I'm sure that there's more to it.
Right.
All right. Anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So on with the episode.
So they're eating brunch. It's a lot of calories. It's the
first time that Chan has eaten lunch with JYP.
Yeah.
Since he's been there.
And
which is a long time.
And JYP says like, well, don't get used to it because, every time somebody becomes a star, like they think it's a chore to come eat with me,
Yeah.
And then one of them, I don't know which one, was like, oh, don't worry, we won't be that way, Yeah. But then they kind of move on to they have kind of a lighthearted discussion, but then they start talking about they had an assignment to like write down something about one of the three virtues, I guess, that JYP kind of tasked them with living, like making their reality,
Yeah.
And that was nice, right? We had such a nice like heartwarming response from who was it? It was. Do you remember who it was about Changbin?
Oh yeah, it was Jisung. Yeah, Jisung said that he came into JYP and was often praised for his rapping ability, and so he leaned into being the rapper, and then started to feel very like self-confident and feel like he was better than everyone else, until Changbin joined the company. Which Changbin, of course, sweet smile. He was really happy to be praised like that because he's literally saying that Changbin is better at rapping than him. Like, that's the implication.
Yeah.
Is he's saying, like, Changbin showed up and it turns out I don't know everything about rap. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, he's right. Like, yeah. So, that's fine. I mean, like, you got to remember that they were like teenagers. Some of them still are, but they were like teenagers when they joined. So, of course, like, yeah, you're getting praised a lot for something. You're going to feel a little bit more full of yourself, I guess. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But, of course, JYP's rules for living life are all about aspiring to be a better person. And that was the thing that he said during this lecture that I really liked. More so than the past lecture when he had like told them like, here's how you can live a better life. Here's these 3 things you should aspire for. And he basically says like, all right, so like a person who meets all 3 of those things does not exist.
Right.
and I thought that was great. Like, what a great sentiment for him to have of like, don't expect yourself to be perfect. That's impossible. What you should be is aspiring to meet those goals, and that will make you a better person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, JYP. All right, I see you.
Dropping some fucking wisdom on these boys.
Boys or kids.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, they're not stray boys.
They're not stray boys. No, they're
then we-
stray kids.
Yeah.
Anyway, that went on for a long time, and they all talked about like a lot of different things that had meaning for them. And I should also point out this was also the part of the episode where they were drinking Coke. I mean, they all had a Coke in clear view with the label turned towards the camera. Like, it was there for a reason.
And I felt like when they were really focused in on, I forget, was it Felix that was drinking the Coke?
Yeah.
It like lingered there for longer than it needed to. And I felt like he was tasked in that moment to drink Coke longer than he wanted to, because like at the end you get to like, I don't know, the facial expression that he had to me was like, man, that was a lot of Coke. I should have drank that much.
Yeah. I don't know, like, yeah, I can't even imagine trying to look pretty on camera while chugging a Coke down.
Yeah.
I don't know. Seems difficult. So they all had a lot of good meanings, but I think you're right. I think that the Jisung one was the best one, and they didn't show all of them because they didn't hit Changbin. So they just showed like the ones that they felt were the most important, and we're tripping it down even further. Watch the show if you want to see the rest.
Yeah, I wanted to see Changbin's,
yeah.
I felt
maybe he was just like, I love dark.
Yes.
That's all. The whole thing was just like, I love
Yes,
dark.
I would like to be truthful to myself right now and tell you that I am actually the greatest rapper of all time, and I like dark themes and dark clothes, and I like to be dark and mysterious, and I am the good
I
rapper.
love dark.
I'm also sexy. Okay, goodbye. That is my truth.
Yeah, he's very visual.
yeah, he's got that. Oh, did we ever answer that? This is like episode 2 question, Tom's Corner right thing.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we talked about it. I'll refresh your memory, but it's basically like a visual member of a group is somebody who like meets the Korean beauty standard.
Right.
And they're intended to be like a visual draw for the group. And so it is literally like your prettiest member, or your member that's like beauty matches a certain standard that will like catch someone's eye, because they're not just musical artists. They also like do commercials and stuff like that, like Coca-Cola. So you need to have that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean,
interesting.
BTS is doing McDonald's,
Oh yeah, I've seen the BTS meal.
Yeah.
I haven't got it because like, look, I like BTS. I thought Dynamite was hot, Butter is cool, but like, I don't know. I don't want McDonald's.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I do sometimes, but
sometimes
I don't want what's in their meal.
Right. Can I get the BTS meal but replace everything in it with 3 hot and spicy McChickens? There you go. I'll take it.
Only you would choose that.
Why? What do you mean?
Because everybody else, I mean, like, I don't. Most people I know don't know that food exists at McDonald's.
The hot and spicy McChicken?
Yeah, the hot and spicy McChicken. I
Dude,
don't
it's
think
the
that
best thing on the menu. Like,
I
how could
know
you
that
get
you think
anything
that.
else?
I know you think that, but I don't know other people. Like, every time you say it, I'm like, I've been to McDonald's within the last month. Granted, it was for breakfast, but still,
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing it on the menu. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but like, I don't know. All right, so anyway. They
Look,
get
all
their
I'm saying
next
is it's
mission.
hot chicken, mayonnaise, and lettuce on a bun. It's delicious.
On a bun. Dying. You killed me. You've killed me.
Oh no! I think it was the jalapeno poppers.
Mm.
For those
Don't worry, I
wondering,
still had some,
Phil had
still have some
jalapeno poppers earlier.
Yeah, I ate jalapeno peppers while we were watching the show quietly off to the side of the microphone.
Yeah.
And
Nom, nom,
I'm gonna
nom,
have
nom.
to- It's so funny because like in this episode, I feel like I'm not gonna have to like meticulously crawl through and remove things. You know, I really haven't had to do that much editing to our episodes recently.
Mm-hmm.
But our watch along, I was like eating Jack in the Box during, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to crawl through that thing at such a snail's pace. And be like, all right, remove that, remove that, remove that, remove that.
Yeah.
Just me like putting the straw into my cup and it being like,
The noise that it makes, the when it goes in. Is that what you mean? I can no longer hear Phil, so I will fill
you
this.
can hear me. No, you can hear me.
Oh, I didn't hear.
Apparently you couldn't hear what I was doing, but I
Oh.
literally put the cup up to the microphone and I was like moving the straw in and out. It just wasn't as big a sound as I expected.
Well,
I was expecting like a McDonald's cup. Again, bringing back McDonald's, the BTS meal.
Yeah.
Get it today. Like,
with a Coca-Cola.
you know, I feel like it just goes
Yeah.
but they did not do this with you know, Jack in the Box using this cheap ass plastic shit.
You know,
Anyway.
it probably I probably could have heard it if you had disabled crisp beforehand.
Do I have crisp on?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Do I? Do I?
Man, I don't know. All I'm saying is the next time you go to McDonald's,
Yeah, no, I have.
not during
crisp on.
breakfast, you need to get a hot and spicy McChicken. Also, for those listening, if you don't know what McDonald's is, you probably call it Macca's.
Macca's.
So,
Okay.
go to your local Macca's and find out if they have hot and spicy McChicken. They probably don't. They probably don't have hot and spicy McChicken where you live.
Just for Tom, here's the straw sound again.
Oh, it's so basic and bland and not
I know, this is bullshit.
not harmonious.
Get your act together. Get your act together, Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, the jalapeno poppers were a little spicy, and then my nose started running, and I was just trying not to sniffle. Like, well, it was awful. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on with the episode, JYP gives them their next mission, which is going to be busking.
Yeah. So am I the only one that saw that and went, "What the fuck is busking?"
Yes, you're the only one.
Okay.
Uh-huh. It's a thing. That's an English word too. Like it's
Yeah?
just like it's the name for street performances.
Okay.
That's it. That's what busking is.
Well, I
And, like,
didn't know. I mean, yeah, obviously I know that now because it kind of got
Right.
answered for me.
Right. Have you watched Ted Lasso on
No.
Apple TV Plus?
Well, let me say first of all that I don't have an Apple TV, nor would I have Apple TV Plus. And if it's only on that platform, then I certainly have not seen this show.
Right. Here's the deal.
Tell me.
You have a computer.
Yeah.
So that means you can go to the Apple TV Plus website
Yeah.
and watch shows through it. And your wife is a member of my iCloud family, so she has Apple TV Plus.
I'm no longer a member of your.
Yeah, you're
Apple.
not, but she is.
Yeah.
I didn't kick her out.
Right, because
She's
she still
on
has an
your-
iPhone.
Right.
Well, I mean, I have an iPhone, but I haven't
But
turned
you
it
don't
on in a
use it,
year. So
Yeah. If you're not using it, I'm not using it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I got that
But,
email finally that was like, "Hey, your 50 gigabytes of iCloud storage that you totally have been using forever is
Well,
canceled."
I got an email that said, "Hey, you're gonna get billed because Anna hasn't accepted the family sharing storage yet."
Oh no!
How dare she?
Wait, so she has to do something to prevent you from being charged money?
Yeah, she has to go into her settings and then I'm gonna cut all this out because like we're just talking about using an iPhone. She has to go to her settings and then like tap on her name at the top and then go to family sharing, and then under family sharing it'll be like, "Hey, do you want to use the shared storage for iCloud?" And she just goes like, "Yeah," and not only will she no longer get charge me $1 a month or whatever, it's not expensive, but you know, it's a principle.
Yeah.
Not only will she not charge me, but she will get access to more storage,
Right.
not less.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
yeah. But watch Ted Lasso. Like, there's okay, on Apple TV Plus, there are a shitload of good shows, and I haven't gotten to watch most of them because there's a lot of them and they're all good.
Mm-hmm.
But we watched Ted Lasso, and it is the most like funny, wholesome. It's just so good. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
It has every right to be that good. I want to use the expression of like, it has no right to be that good. No, it has every right. It's so entirely good. I implore you to watch it. But did you? Okay, now we're going way off topic. Okay. I sent you last week the opening of Warrior, which is an HBO Max show.
I never watched it.
Did you watch it?
No.
Okay, so we're gonna watch two things at the end of this episode. We're gonna watch that alcohol free, and then we're gonna watch that clip specifically,
Okay.
which is just like it's the first like 4 minutes of Warrior. So I guess I'm leaving all of this in because otherwise it won't make sense.
No.
It's
We'll
fine.
just how about this? We'll just watch it after we close out, for the evening, and then bring it up in tomorrow's episode.
Okay, fine. All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, so they continue on with getting their mission, and they
Oh,
got
we're
the
back on
busking mission.
the actual
We're
show
back
now.
on the episode. We're talking about the actual show now. We're done with Apple TV. We're done with everything else. We're talking about the show.
This is about
This is
Stray
Stray
Kids,
Kids
Phil.
So, so they find out they're going to do a busking mission, and as we learned from watching and or knowing what the word busking means, that means that they're going to have to do a street performance, and it's totally different because they don't have special effects, they don't have lights, they don't have all the other stuff that goes along with having a big performance like that.
Yeah.
They're just on the street. And so they get to do a little outing into an area where it's like really popular to do busking, so they can go and see other people doing it to try and get some ideas of like, are you like how do people connect with the crowd and that kind of stuff. They even hear like the song the Blackpink song that they performed, and so of course like they're all getting super into it because it's a song that they did
Yeah.
during the battle,
Right.
which is really funny, and Hyunjin's all like, I want to get on the stage right now. I keep wanting to charge in there. Like, let me go.
Yeah.
Which is pretty funny. I mean, it's really cool that that they have that kind of energy for performing and
Yeah.
connecting with an audience. Changbin specifically calls out like, hey, I'm like watching this group and they seem good, but like they're not really making a lot of eye contact with the audience, and I think that's going to be really important. I think it's going to be important to connect by actually like making eye contact and interacting with the audience in that way.
Right.
So I felt like it was really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a
And
good
very
observation to make.
Yeah. So after they have their outing, they go back. They're practicing. They're going to be doing. What we know now is they're going to be doing a new song called "Ya Ya Ya," which I love. It's one of my favorite songs. It's going to be on mixtape, which we already both own a copy of. That is still sealed in plastic, and we're going to open those after we finish the survival show.
Yes.
but they play it even in the background, and like while we're watching the episode, I'm just jamming. I'm just like, yeah, it's so good. The energy's so good. It's so good. Oh, that's just a joke for us.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
that is 100% a inside joke that nobody else will understand.
I don't know. I'm leaving that into the watch along. So if you want to understand it, watch the watch
Oh,
along.
okay.
Not all of it, but like some
Yeah,
of it, you know.
because we were even
So-
recording for like the first, I don't know, 3/4 of it.
Right. Yeah. I only recorded like two attempts.
Yeah.
We were trying to calibrate our microphones. That's all I'll say.
Mhm.
And so,
Oh,
they're
they're gonna hear me
cut to a-
shouting.
Yeah, that's right. It's all gonna be in there.
You're gonna hear me screaming.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm gonna like it. So Felix is practicing, and of course we know from even in this episode he got criticized for his Korean pronunciation, and so he's trying really hard to get the pronunciation, confidence, and facial expressions to come through because he really wants to like battle against the criticisms that he keeps receiving. So he's working really hard in the practice room. He writes himself a note, he sticks it on the mirror, and then he tries practicing into the mirror because he doesn't want to be put in a position where he could possibly be eliminated like Minho. I mean, he doesn't want to be the next Minho.
Yeah. You never
And it
go
makes
full
sense that-
Minho.
Yeah, never go full Minho. It makes sense they're checking with him and Jung-in because like they're both the ones who have received criticism multiple times. So they
Yeah.
cut to Jung-in, and he's practicing with Hyunjin, and he's like trying to get the dances down for Ya Ya Ya. But also they're going to be performing School Life, his song from the 333 that they've reworked it into an 8-member song. Because we lost one. So they've reworked it into an 8-member song, and everyone seems really impressed with Jung-in's tone now.
Yeah.
That he's like doing a much better job singing,
Yeah.
and I feel like he's probably gained a little bit more confidence from doing the battle and everything else. So
Right.
he seems like a different person from before the 333, where he like didn't want to take any parts, and then even during the preparation for the YG battle, he was like nervous, didn't want to sing, didn't want to do this, didn't want to do that, and then
Right.
got eliminated from the vocal group.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, he's like a different person, and I feel like some of that, right, is like they are packing a lot of performances into a short time, and so he's more nervous. So this is the second time he gets to perform School Life. It's gonna feel more natural to him, and of course they are gonna perform Elevator again, and that's also going to be more natural to them because they've performed it once in front of JYP. They performed it for the music video, and now they're going to perform it on the busking stage. So it's really cool that we're going to get to see how they kind of like work out the kinks and get better and better by practicing one thing for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
Rather than not doing that, which is what they usually do during this survival show.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's when they started to listen to Ya Ya Ya, and then it basically, the whole end of the episode is about them. It's like shows their busking stage being built and people like peeking at it and being like, "What is this, Stray Kids? Whoa, what is this?" And then they give like a preview before the preview, which I think is weird and funny, of them on busking mission D-Day, where they're like waiting in the green room basically of the busking stage. And they have somebody back there who's like, yeah, there's a lot more people than we expected. And they're like, oh, but to not to be like out of order, but back when they were having brunch, they talked about the Elevator music video,
Yeah.
which at the time
Had
had
10
not been out for very long.
million views.
10 million views.
That's insane.
That is insane. And just for posterity's sake, I'm going to check it right now.
Yeah.
It has 84 million views.
Oh my lord.
So, yeah. So, but 10 million for a band that has not debuted
Right.
and hasn't done anything like is crazy fast.
I have
So-
like 13 views on my YouTube video.
Well, we have more than 13 people who listen to this show, so maybe they should click on that.
Yeah. Go watch Tom Plays Dark Souls Remastered. For a good time.
Boy.
Yeah, boy.
I like Dark Souls.
Oh, it feels so
I like
good.
Dark Souls. I'm gonna go watch that later. Maybe I'll link it in the show notes.
Yeah.
All right, so that's really the end of the episode. At the very end, they of course cut to the preview, but we skipped that because we don't want spoilers, and we're literally watching it tomorrow, so there's really no need for it.
Yeah.
So overall, what do you think? What'd you think?
Overall, I would rate this episode a good out of good or bad.
Yeah, pass fail. I think it passes.
Yeah,
You're right.
Pass.
Like a brain surgeon, it passes.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to 11 hours from now when we sit down to watch the next one. So get ready for that, dear listeners. We'll probably release. When do you want to release this episode? Like pretty soon, right? Like
I'm gonna release this episode as soon as I'm done editing it.
And then
like,
the next one
soon
we'll
as it's
release
done.
on schedule.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That would be my ideal. That doesn't mean I won't release them both on Wednesday, but
yeah. Fair enough.
you never know. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody, and I'll make a stay out of you. I'm just trying to say the name. I gotta say the podcast name more often.
Right.
I don't know,
Hopefully, this episode has led you down a path where we, or in this case, Phil, since this is his podcast.
That's right. It's mine. Get out of here.
No,
I'm just kidding.
We'll make a stay out of you.
I'll make a stay out of you. You're
Nice.
welcome.
It was that was
All
beautiful. I don't think we even need
Wow.
to play the outro at this point because of that.
I to try and find the right stay for the theme song, it doesn't really fit. And so I've honestly thought about just doing it myself, like recording the vocals myself and doing it because it doesn't have the right tone. It's cut from a Stray Kids song. So it literally goes like the normal Disney song and then cuts to just one word from a Stray Kids song going stay.
Yeah.
And then continues. So it's fun. Anyway, the ending's playing now. Blah, 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 blah. Don't talk. Never shut
Goodbye.
up.
See you